Hey, welcome back. Let's get into this episode 11 of Love and Marriage Huntsville. This is a pretty good season so far. I like it. And I definitely think Chris and Nell are a very good addition to the show. Still up in the air about Latricia and Ken, but we do get into a little bit more of Latricia's business in this episode. Um, so we're going to get into Marsau and Latricia's husband. Now, his name is M name too. All these M names, I think it was Martez or something like that. So Martez was basically saying how he doesn't like having another man around his kids. He feels like him and Ken didn't get to know each other before he moved in and started taking care of his kids. And Marsau actually surprised me because, don't get offended, fellas, but I don't see men coming from where Marsau was coming from, as far as you should be appreciative towards this man in your kid's life because you left. I still didn't really get why he left. I know Latricia had some deaths in the family, and of course it's going to take a toll on you emotionally, and I don't know if he just couldn't handle it and he left, but he said that over and over multiple times, like, I don't like them taking my kid to PTO meetings and going to school and all that. And Marsau was basically like, look, you left, so this guy is taking up your slack. Now, he shed some light saying that something about dude was trying to get with Latricia, or he was waiting in the shadows, or leave some messages on Instagram, whatever, saying he's the reason why she was in the gym. Which, of course, is not a bad thing, but I think he was just... It's like he was kind of laying out like this dude either was trying to break up the marriage, or he was whispering sweet nothings in her ear. That's what the message that I was getting from him. And then later on, when him and Latricia were talking, after he was telling Latricia about, he was, leaving chocolate emojis, da 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 da. She was like, okay. She was setting the record straight, like, look, me and him were not messing around while, even though they're technically still married, but while, he was in the house and they were together. I don't know. I was actually a little surprised to hear that about Ken. Like, I know we don't know these people personally, but I can kind of see it now. Like, I don't put anything past anybody. And I do want to say this Latricia's husband is real fine. Maybe that's why she don't want to get divorced. Cool. But she was basically stating to the confessional that she was wanting to talk to him because she wants to go ahead and finalize this thing. It's been 2 or 3 years since they've been separated. Just finalize it. I hate that his daughter feels the way she feels, because he feel like somebody told her to say you weren't supposed to leave us, or something about like a man wasn't supposed to leave their kids. It's really unfortunate because that kind of stuff does affect kids. When I was 9, my parents got divorced. My mother met my stepfather a few months afterwards, and then they were going together, and then they got married. She had a baby. Like, all this happened really fast, and it does affect kids when you got, your parent goes over here, somebody else comes. Not saying that it's bad to have step parents or blended families, but it does, I'm telling you, it does affect the kids. All right, so I really want to hear next episode what Ken, because I feel like she's going to say something to Ken about it. And I'm really curious about what she's going to say to Ken about this. So Nell and Mel have a picnic. Melody, at this point in the show, she's pretty much just having one-on-ones with people, or one-on-twos, because her and Martell are not married anymore. So it's her talking to the people she wants to talk to, him chilling with the people he wants to talk to. That's the dynamic that we have with these two right now. And Nell, she sat there, and I don't know if maybe something was edited out, but what we saw on TV, she was like, I went over there to talk to my kids, and we had a little family meeting, I'm paraphrasing, and they flipped out on me, said I need therapy. It's like, you're making it seem like This wasn't mentioned for everybody. They just said, Mom, you need to come with us too. I didn't like how she did that. If that wasn't edited like now, why you make it seem like they just, Mama, you need therapy. You need therapy. Like, come on. I thought that was so whack. Like, don't make your kids look like that now. And Mel, whose outfit was real cute, like her hair, her jumpsuit, the heels, like she looked really nice, really good. But she was saying, give it a try, and I think so. I think as Black people, we're finally getting to say it's okay to see someone. It's okay to talk to a therapist. I think sometimes when you talk to, or most times actually, I feel like most times when you talk to someone who does not know you, they're on the outside looking in, they can give you some things, some insight that you don't see, that you don't get. Because it's different when you're talking to somebody that knows you, because they're like, well, girl, you know how you such and such, or you know how he or she did. You need a total stranger sometimes to be like, you know what, from what I can see by talking to you, it seems like you have this going on. Have you looked at this, that, and the third? So I'm glad that as a culture, we're finally getting to accept that a little bit more. Nell, I believe, is in her 60s, or she might be right at 60. I don't think they ever really disclosed her age. But people in her generation and older, they didn't believe in, as far as our community, as the majority, they just didn't believe in that. It was mainly about pray, go to church, pray about it, give it to God, and everything will be all right. And I'm just glad that people are finally accepting and opening of that. So we get to the session with Dr. Francis, who he's been on there previous times before. I think he did like some marriage counseling and stuff. But she was talking to her kids, and what I saw, her son, the one that she had prior to meeting Chris, was saying, I feel like you listen to talk. I feel like when I say listen to talk, like you just listen to me so you can respond. Not that you're actually soaking in what I'm saying. And she kind of was cutting them off. And when Dr. Francis was saying stuff, she was, I could see what her kids meant and how they said they talk to Chris because they know Chris is going to let them talk. They know Chris is not going to fly out the handle. She's telling them, y'all don't come to me because I tell y'all the truth. I tell y'all things not to do and you do it. And then I guess you don't want to hear the I told you so's. It's really hard trying to have a conversation with somebody who thinks like that, who is just waiting for you to finish talking so they can throw in, so they can have a rebuttal. That is frustrating. And when it's a parent, that can be really frustrating because it's like you have a certain level of respect for your parents, so you can't really just go in like you want to with words. If you respect your parents, you don't want to be disrespectful to them. So it's like, in a way, you're kind of having to deal with it. So I'm glad that they had that talk with Dr. Francis. I don't have too many notes. I only have four paragraphs and whatnot. But anyway, back to Latricia and Ken. He said, not Latricia and Ken, Latricia and Marquez, whatever her husband's name is. He said that Ken told him, check your bitch. And Latricia was like, he said that? And I'm like, okay, let us find out Ken is a wolf in sheep's clothing. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is a lady that you want to marry and that's what you're calling her? I don't think the husband would lie because, why would he lie about something? I don't remember if it was a phone call or if it was texting. If it was a phone call, he probably could get away with lying. But if it was a text, he wouldn't be able to because, it could be pulled up like, okay, where did I call her a bitch? You see what I'm saying? So, and I actually thought that they're supposed to be going on a girls trip this season. I thought that was going to be this episode. I was so disappointed because, on a girls trip, it's supposed to be Sunny and Destiny there. Now, that's going to be a good one. I'm looking forward to that. But anyways, y'all, I'm going to go ahead and get off of here. Shout out to my 64 subscribers. Shout out to the rest of you that are not subscribed, but you can press the little button. Like and share and comment. I love talking to you all in the comments about what you think about episodes and movies and what I watch. As always, peace and blessings. Until next time, y'all.